few words to say that today we're accompanied by my colleague, Cathy Wong, qui est la responsable de plusieurs dossiers, dont celui de la lutte au racisme et aux discriminations systémiques. We're here to announce the creation of the Office of the Commissioner for the Fight Against Racism and Systemic Discrimination. If we go back, it's part of the, it was a second actually recommendation coming from the OCPM report on racism and discrimination, systemic discrimination. The first one was to recognize that there is systemic racism and discrimination throughout the city, and or at least to recognize that it's present. So we did. The second recommendation was to create a position, which we are announcing today. And the third recommendation was to appoint an elected official to specifically to that dossier, to that folio, which is Madame Wong. And I'm really glad that we're here today to say that the commissioner, we will be sending out, we're asking for people to apply, the entire community, population to apply for the role of the commissioner. It will be open next Wednesday. And the role of the commissioner can be summed up in 4 objectives. The first one is to advise and support the political and administrative bodies in their empowerment in the fight against racism and discrimination. The second objective is to do consistent monitoring of the practices and processes in the municipal authorities and services. Third one is to ensure that both citizens and employees are informed of their rights and options available to them. And finally, to accelerate the organizational changes and transformations required to fight systemic racism and discrimination. I also want to say that the new commissioner will be working with the 2 existing commissioners that we have here at the City of Montreal that are really helping us out in many of the issues that we're facing. The first one is Marie-Ève Bordelot, who's the Montreal's Commissioner for Indigenous Affairs, and Serge Laroux, who's Montreal's Commissioner for the Homeless. So the 3 commissioners, of course, will be working together because we know that there can be interconnection, or and this is why they've got to work together, which they already do. The 2 first one. I also want to say that the creation of this position is a very strategic one. It's a way to show how serious we take this issue, and we want to make sure that Montreal is a safe, inclusive city. And for that reason, the commissioner will be accompanied with employees of its own. It will be a bureau. The office will also be staffed with 3 other people, including a resource person specialized in racial and social profiling issues, who will work on a full-time, dedicated basis within the Montreal Police Department. So just to end by saying that we are happy that we're moving forward as quick as we can, knowing that we're dealing with the COVID. But I do want to thank Madame Wong. I want to thank our General Director, the ED of the City of Montreal, the different team that did work on creating this mandate so we can find a person who can help us to move efficiently and as fast as possible, of course, by creating an action plan in the next coming months. So we're thrilled, and on that base, I will leave a few, I'm going to ask my colleague to say a few words in English on the specific mandate and what have been done, because a lot of things have been done so far.
Thank you very much, Mrs. the Mayor. So last June, when I was given the responsibility at the Executive Committee to take action against racism and discrimination, I quickly realized that there was an importance in setting up a dedicated structure with concrete measures to combat racism and discrimination within all the city departments. I also noted the importance of giving ourselves the means and the resources needed to accelerate the city's transformation. So the Commissioner for the Fight Against Racism and Systemic Discrimination will play a strategic role to ensure that Montreal becomes a fairer or more inclusive city. This is a very important mandate, and it is a mandate that is particularly close to my heart. Therefore, I invite all Montrealers to consult the job posting and to share it within their networks so that we can find la perle rare, so that we can find the best person in Montreal to occupy this position. I wanted also to take the advantage of today's announcement to share with you some of the most recent advances in the fight against racism and systemic discrimination in Montreal. First of all, to fight against racial and social profiling, as you all know, the SPVM has unveiled its policy on police checks this summer. It was a first in Quebec. Therefore, training of patrol officers have already started. It is already underway. And the Public Security Commission that I have integrated recently is currently holding public consultations on this matter. The policy is evolving and will be improved over time. Second of all, employment inclusion is another of my top priorities, and it is clear to me that public services must be representative of the Montreal population, and this is why I'm currently working with the Human Resources Department on several tools to help us achieve our objectives of making Montreal a city where everyone feels included. And finally, well, in the past few months, we have begun analyzing the OCPM's recommendation following its report on racism and systemic discrimination. I also had the opportunity to meet with most of the authorities and stakeholders that were cited in the report, of course, in the municipal system, such as the Ombudsman, the Comptroller General, the Commissioner for Relations with Indigenous People. And all these meetings allowed me to bring together all of our efforts to fight racism at every level at the City of Montreal. So as you can see, we are working really hard and we are truly determined to achieve our goals. And I'm convinced that the appointment of the Commissioner and the establishment of its office will certainly help us move forward in this important file. Thank you very much.